The rain we've had has made it tough for farmers this summer. Some haven't been able to plant all their crops yet, and the crops they do have planted, well, they're struggling. Corn, for example, nowhere knee-high this 4th of July. Fox 11's Alex Rinaldo with a closer look tonight at the difficulties farmers are facing.
As a dairy farmer, Mark Peterson will tell you it's not an easy year to be a farmer.
You're always at the mercy of the weather in this business, and it's almost the worst case scenario a lot of times, a lot of situations here.
Kevin Jarek with Outagamie County's UW Extension says farmers across the area are struggling with saturated fields from too much rain.
Limits the number of days that we can actually get into the field. So unfortunately there hasn't been much change except for the calendar. Now that we're into the month of July, things become a little more urgent.
Jarek says the planting season was late. Some crops aren't even in the ground yet. Some that are planted are turning yellow,
which indicates their stress from the excessive soil moisture and their stress of not having enough nitrogen available to the plants.
So now, Jarek says some farmers are considering planting crops like corn, even though they know those plants won't make it to harvest.
We typically have the option to take prevented planting. So producers have the option, if they're enrolled in an insurance program, to say there simply wasn't the opportunity to plant.
But sometimes the crop insurance money isn't enough to cover the loss.
You have the input costs that you're gambling there with as well. And when you feed livestock that feed, and all of a sudden you have to buy feed on top of and it really is a financial serious situation to be in.
Peterson says the only hope for the crop yield is that the weather dries up at least a little.
The average would be at best. And that's probably being very optimistic, but if the weather turns around, this is prime growing season right now. Yeah, we can turn things around somewhat.
In Appleton, Alex Rinaldo, Fox 11 News.
Jarek says the first frost will have a huge impact on crop totals this year. He says if the frost is early, there will be major losses.